Hi there. So this video was a requested video about confronting your twin.
I don't like the word confronting.
What?
Let's switch
You
it up.
never had to confront me?
I had to confront you numerous times, but I don't like the word confronting.
Why?
It just insinuates conflict.
Oh, conflict.
Yeah.
So
if I said, hey, you didn't take the trash out, that's confrontation. More like, did you need my help taking the trash out? Is that why I didn't get out? Or, even better, is I asked you 3 days ago to bring the laundry down and it's still up there. Is it because you need help bringing the laundry down? Or,
I can understand.
I asked you freaking 3 days ago to bring the laundry down and the laundry's still damn upstairs. See the difference?
Yeah. But when you're doing the confrontation and somebody's in a different space and they're like, where in the hell's that coming from? Because they could be doing other things.
Right.
In this particular case, I guess it's confronting your twin.
Yeah.
So,
We're just gonna read the request.
oh, okay.
We're not gonna, obviously say who it's from or whatever.
Right.
Hi guys, I have a question and I really hope you can make a video. Ta-da! Oh. I can't, for the life of me, remember to turn the bells and whistles off.
Neither can I.
And I can also not
But-
read that.
Oh, okay.
It's too far.
Yeah, here.
Spitting.
Oh.
No, that's not spit. What is that?
How about that?
Oh,
Does
it's
that
that thing
help?
on my chin. Huh?
Does that help?
He blew it up really big.
Yeah. I mean, it's what
What
twins
an
do
ass.
for one another. They help the other see things.
I mean, you could have read it.
Oh, okay. My twin pulled away again, but he has said something that really makes me think he knows we are twins. I was talking about my kids, and he said, "Are you sure they aren't mine?" Then joked about sperm getting to me. A couple months ago, I had this feeling that my kids weren't biologically his, but in a soul sense. And then he said that. I told him if I died, he'd never know it because he never messages me. He told me he'd be able to sense it. Then he tried to say he was joking. We both have already told each other we have felt each other, but he pushes away and says he doesn't have feelings. Please make a video on how to confront your twin. That's where the word
I
confront
might be a
came.
little bit confused on, are they his biological kids or are they not?
It sounds as
getting?
though that they're probably not his biological
Okay.
kids, but you feel like he's actually experiencing the feeling of the kids and the
Are you
energy
sure
of
they're
what they
not lying
represent.
type of thing? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Kind of like how it was with Cameron, because you
Okay.
know how I felt connected to him, even though biologically he wasn't. I still felt this soul connection to him because he's very much a part of you, just like all your other kids are. And I feel very much part of all of them, even though they're not biologically mine. I still have a soul sense that they are. It's like anything that you're connected to. And this is why I think confrontation really probably comes in as a kind of a very challenging word, I think, for both of us, is because we went through that phase, but it was more like, it wasn't confrontation as much as it was confirmation,
Okay.
right? And the confirmation is what you're wanting the other person to give you when you should already have that within yourself. I mean, you could feel that you felt connected to Christian immediately.
Mhm.
But it wasn't that I was like, well, he's not yours. It wasn't a territorial thing, and that may have been how he was taking that she was taking it. As though that, maybe might have been some judgment about how she's raising him, might have been some things that were going in the background that might have been going through him, like, oh, whoa, no, that's not what I meant. I meant like I felt a love for them that I'm not able to explain.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be maybe asking the question. You could hear that there's already doubt.
Mm-hmm.
The doubt is, if I die, you're not going to know it. And then he's saying, I sense it. And then, oh, really? And prove that. And it's almost like you're looking for somebody to prove something that, like what they said, isn't enough.
Right.
So in the background, if you hear a little voice telling you, they're lying to me, that's you, not them. And that's the voice that you're against in this connection. And that's why the confrontation has to be in place, because they don't know how to confront themselves.
We need to talk about the difference then in listening to your intuition, listening to your soul, and listening to that little voice in your ear that says they're lying, versus that feeling when someone isn't being truthful.
Do you know? That's a good question. How do you know when somebody's not being truthful? See, I think that's where we all have this big, huge conflict
Right.
on the inside. Is we believe that we all were installed with these automatic bullshit detectors. And yeah, that's okay. I believe it. I believe that some people are really good at finding out if somebody's lying to them. But I believe it's because they're listening to a deeper level to hear the words that conflict with the other words.
Okay.
You know, kind of like when we're listening to somebody, we can hear them say, yeah, I love them, but, and then you hear the but, and it's like, well, that's not really love, is it? If you added the but right behind it, it actually offsets and goes against what the other person's saying.
Gotcha.
Or what they're actually trying to say, right?
Right.
So in this particular case, she doesn't believe that he's going to sense if something happens to her. So her belief system is being challenged, and she wants him to confront her belief system. That's not going to work. All that's going to do is give you more of the hamster wheel effect. It's going to leave you reeling because he shouldn't have to come in and defend what you don't believe.
Right.
That's you doing that, not him. So he can say these things and feel open enough to say them, but what she doesn't see is the confrontation she's creating on the inside by not believing it is creating this disconnect between them that doesn't really need to be there. Does she accept or will she accept what he's saying? And does she accept it and say, he's telling me the truth? What reason would he have to lie? If he's saying this, and I think we went through that too, where it's like, you know, even in the beginning when you were like, okay, he's saying he's connected to me, but his actions don't support it. He's saying he's connected to me, but his actions don't support it. Now he's lying to me because my actions didn't support it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where the seed gets planted.
So then he felt the rejection in her. This is what happened. He felt the rejection in her saying, well, if I die, you're never going to know. And I was just kidding.
Right.
Oh, I was just kidding.
Right. Because that she
I was
didn't.
just joking.
Right.
It's very similar to, you know, if you're just having a conversation with the one you're connected to. I almost said twin.
It's okay. It's all right.
If you're having a conversation with the one you're connected to, and you say something along the lines of, or you're wanting to break the ice on the conversation, is I really feel like connected to you on a soul level, like I can taste what you're tasting, and I can feel things, and that's not normal. It's not what normal, whatever normal is, but it's different than what I've ever felt before, and I feel we're really connected on some type of other level. Right. And then you get something back like, oh, you're crazy, it's a fairy tale, and then you go to, but I was just joking. I was wanting to see what you'd say.
Right. And what
kidding.
On the opposite end, he experienced rejection.
Yeah.
Because if he's told her, well, you know, I feel like your kids are my kids. He's probably said other things as well to let her know that he's feeling something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's now having to confront him saying, I didn't feel anything, is because she's not paying attention to the rejection of the thought process on the inside that says he's been lying.
Gotcha.
And that's her. And there's a space on the inside of you that the truth is you never were used to somebody being in here with you.
Right.
And once you start to experience this connection, you start to go, okay. You can think one of three things. Normally, the top rated one is I'm batshit crazy. Mm-hmm. Number two is I'm hallucinating. And number three, I need to go see a doctor. Right. So it's almost like, and you can't go, I feel like somebody's in here with me. You can't go into a doctor and say, no, the doctor's going to go, oh, you hear voices, do you? And that's literally how that works. And the voices are there, but the voices are going against what you actually are experiencing that you feel on the inside.
Correct.
And the label effect happens.
We don't know this because all we got is the same information you've got. Is what was in this message. So so we don't know the details or what's or the backstory of what's happened here. This is what we got, so this is what we're going on. It just he pushes away and says he doesn't have feelings.
Right, but she didn't
because
acknowledge.
the feelings that the feelings that he is expressing are getting rejected.
But she didn't point out where she pointed out his shortcomings.
Right.
She didn't point out where she said something to him that rejected him.
Which is what I just said.
Right.
It's getting
but
rejected.
But if we go back and listen to the message, where did you hear it? Because I know where I felt like we both heard it in the same space. And let me read it out loud so that way, let's see if it mimics it. Just let your body feel what he said. And it was, I told him if I died, he'd never know it because he never messages me.
Yes.
He never messages me.
Right.
Not that we're not connected already. Not that I always feel you with me.
Right.
You're looking for more.
Right.
In which he's falling short, which means he's somehow affecting how you're feeling.
Right.
And if he's going to be responsible for you feeling like he's never there, of course he's going to have to reel himself back. It's almost like you can't hear where you actually have put out the rejection that's being done to you that the other person's responsible for. And they had no idea because they feel you and they feel content with their connection with you. Why make it into a problem?
Right.
Isn't it enough just to feel something you've never felt before and feel like somebody's always with you? And the search for more is a human characteristic. It's part of the human condition of being in this connection. I want more. I want you to come marry me, be with me, and my whole life will be so much better because you did what you were supposed to.
We need to be in union yesterday.
Yes.
So we can fix our lives
But if
and be happy.
But can you accept being in union right here and right now, no matter where things are? Which is a part of acceptance. Acceptance
During
is
the
huge.
trials, during the financial hardships, during the all the mess, during the family rejection, during the judgment, during all of the dark nights of the soul, or during all of the mess,
Yeah.
can you be in union then? Do you have to wait until it's all fixed?
I like the way I look at that is, remember in the beginning, you I'm connected to this cheater, son of a bitch. You did the whole speech, right? I'm
What
connected to
contest
that.
of hell did I win?
I'm connected to that. And that non-acceptance, I was like, I could be better. I could be better. And I was like, no, I can't.
Really?
I wished I was never born. So my fight, you had to stand back and watch. But we're not willing to do that because, no, you've got to get it right now.
Right.
Because I don't accept who you are right now because of all the things you're doing, all the people you're choosing, all of the things you're choosing outside of me, I don't accept right now. The moment you accept it, things change. Isn't that not how it happens?
It is exactly how it
what
happens.
was the point of putting out all of those ways that we were fighting one another, the way that we went through what we went through? We pointed to acceptance. She had to accept who she was connected to just as much as I had to accept being connected to her. And then before that could even happen, we had to be accepting of who we were. Because you knew I could see you just as much as I knew you could see me. And it's hard because you don't really have the dialogue to match it. The dialogue would make more sense than the confrontation. And,
Right.
and don't hand off responsibility. If you want to hear from more, say, hey, you know how happy I get when I hear from you. I think that makes more sense than saying you never message me. Because
That's the answer, though. Communication versus confrontation. Communication versus confrontation.
Communication is one of our biggest hurdles because in this connection, you believe the other person can hear what you're thinking.
Correct.
And most of the time what you're thinking is, they can hear me. And they can't.
They can't.
And, I can hear my twin saying they want to be. You can feel their radiant presence when you finally are stepping into your own acceptance. Then they're allowed to accept you. But it's few and far between because you're still working through that. And it's okay to work through that. Please work through that. Because what ends up happening is when you start to accept yourself, they start showing up really quick. And then you start wanting them to accept you. But you kind of put yourself down for them to accept you instead of accepting yourself and allowing them to come even closer. It is very simple but very complex because the mind makes it that way.
Hope this helped.
Yeah,
I kind of
I do
hope
too.
it did. But we never know.
Yeah, all you got to really do is, look at when you're saying confrontation. Is there something in you saying you're being rejected? Or did you do the rejecting to get rejection? Or most of the time what ends up happening is you're already rejecting yourself and you need them to follow suit and do the same thing. That's usually what it ends up being. At least that's what we keep finding. And that's what we found deep within us, that we were doing the same very thing. Hopefully this answered your question.
I really look like my dad with this gray and white hair. Where's the picture? Did I take it down? Look under that flag.
Under the flag?
No, maybe not.
No,
I
I don't know the picture.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not.
My mom and your dad are missing. They were hanging up in
They're
here.
missing. They're missing. Anyway.
Maybe that's why they keep showing up in our dreams.
Could be.
Anyway, we'll talk about that at a different time. We love you. Talk to you soon.